Morning everyone, hope you're okay. Well, I am. I can't believe it. I can't believe our accounts have been lifted. What's going on? Who's in charge? I remember this happening briefly at the beginning of lockdown as well. Something when and Google lifted, it was telling the truth and everything else. Um, and yeah, yesterday I was banned off all three accounts, couldn't get in them. And I tried them as well. I tried them all yesterday, couldn't get in them. And I was looking, somebody had sent me a message, but on my older account. So I thought I'll go in there and check the messages. So I went in there and I thought, just like something, see, because if you like it, it just pops up and says you can't, it just comes off. It doesn't actually tell you anything on my account, takes your like off or whatever. Um, so I done that on a status that my friend put up saying that I was banned from all three accounts. Um, and it worked. And I thought, hang on a minute. So I just wrote just a load of gibberish numbers and it posted. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I thought, well, somebody had said then that looks like it's happening to lots of accounts, and they're not doing their bans, and their bans are up early, and their old accounts are coming back. My old disabled one hasn't come back. I've checked that. So I thought, I'll go and check. I'll go and check the other two. And they're all open, all of them. So I'm going to be using this account for the moment, just because it's got the most on here. Obviously, I've still got the other two. So if something goes wrong with this one, I'll flip on there, even if it's just for a couple of days. So I'm wondering kind of what's going on there. I did check my Twitter as well, but no such luck. It's not there. It is there, but I've got no followers. I'm following no one. It's reduced it to nothing and it's suspended. So I thought maybe there was a glitch in the whole thing, and be back on Twitter as well, but no such luck. But anyway, I've got these three accounts back up and running, which is great for now. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about today the vaccine deaths that are happening that people are just not talking about. You're not going to see this on the mainstream media. Something like 53 in Gibraltar. Gibraltar's a really, really, really small island. It's got something like 6,000 inhabitants, or so 5,800 and something people live there. And they've had like 53 deaths there. You had the 24 or the 28 or whatever it was in the Norwegian care home. Now, if you take note of this, you will see nobody dies out in the street from it. Nobody dies at home from it. They only die if they're in the hospital or care homes. That should be a massive ringer. If you remember from the very beginning, we were shown on the telly people dropping dead in the street in China. Not just one or two, there was multiple people. That was enough to initiate the panic, wasn't it? And oh my God, this virus is killing everyone. People are dropping like flies. Tell me one occasion you've seen that since. It's never happened. It's only in care homes and hospitals. Now, the thing that people got to really understand about the whole COVID thing is the PCR test, right? It's just, when people are using it, you're saying that people have got COVID, they're using it by this test that is not, I don't know how many different ways it has to be said, that it's not fit for purpose. The man who invented it said that. Not that it's not, he didn't say it's not fit for purpose. It's not fit for this purpose. It's an amplification tool. So it'll amplify whatever is bringing up. Background noise, just genetic material. It's not looking for anything specific. Why do people think that? Even Carrie Mullis himself said it. Doesn't tell you if you're sick or not, evidently, because most people are asymptomatic or just healthy. It doesn't do that. It doesn't detect the virus and say that's what you've got. It just amplifies whatever's in there. And if you've had a cold in the past, chances are you're going to pick up a coronavirus, because viruses are within the body. They're created within the body, within the cell. The cell creates the virus when it needs to come to clean the area. Now, what happens with the reason, so you've got this COVID, I'm just going to call it flu, because that's what it is, flu and a cold, right? 99.7% survival, 99.7% survival rate. It only affects, we know this, the elderly and those who are very, very with compromised immune systems, which would make sense, wouldn't it? Most old people, I find it I don't think I know anyone, unfortunately, and there will be people in their 70s and 80s and even 90s that are not on medication. Very, very, very minuscule amount, because they whack them on there as soon as they can, and then obviously till the end of their death. And the reason that the elderly die of it, or the if anyone with a compromised immune system, is because they can't handle the detox. When the body is too toxic, a virus comes up and it cleans the area like a soap, like a solvent, right? They're necessary. They're completely necessary, and without, I've said this before, without them the body would have no recourse to detoxify, and you would die. So all that is trying to get that poison out of your body that you have accumulated over time. With any, various, there are multiple contributors to this. Obviously, we've mentioned them before. Food is a massive one. Chemtrails, medication, vaccines, they're just all, there's lots of things that we're being poisoned by. Your water supply, unless you've got a filter or a distiller. So yeah, there's loads of things that can cause us to be too toxic. Now, in an old person, because of the battering of the toxins over especially with medication's the biggest one anyway, the battering of that, when they do get sick, when the body's trying to do what it does and rid this toxicity from the body can't handle it. It's too weak, so it dies. It's not that a virus has come in and killed it. For God's sake, man, it hasn't even been proven to exist. I'm not even going into that right now, right? But that is what is happening, and it's the same with anyone in a vulnerable situation. Now, let me tell you something else that it does, and it's quite, I get called a being a fearmongerer, scaremongering, even though I'm the one telling you not to be scared, because it's not a killer virus. I'm not a scaremongerer. I'm trying to tell you the truth so that you can keep yourself safe and healthy, and your children, and your grandparents, and whatever. That's what I'm trying to do. So what it does, what this whole virus lie does, is it takes all responsibility away from you. Your responsibility for your health, not anyone else's, right? And unfortunately, yes, we've been lied to and we've been brainwashed to believe something completely different, and we can eat all this crap and we can take all these poisonous injections and be fine. We've been brainwashed to believe that. It couldn't be further from the truth, as we can see, right? And even the ones who just argue, that food is obviously an issue. You know that people know that it's not a conspiracy. If you eat right, then you don't get as sick. That means if you eat right, you don't get as toxic. Therefore, you don't produce the symptoms of pushing the toxicity. Those of you who are ill all the time, you're just too toxic. Whatever it is, drugs, alcohol, smoking, drinking, medication, vaccines, no exercise, you're not getting any, there's a lack of nutrients. It's a nutrient deficiency, right? And then, but you get to sit there though and blame me for not wearing a mask, for spreading something I can't possibly spread to you. You're sitting there with no responsibility at all for yourself or for your children. Now, what I'm telling you gives you empowerment for that, obviously. But back to the care homes, so I knew what was going to happen, right? So pre-vaccine, they were putting the cycles at 45. They were in the NHS anyway, and it's actually, I thought it was 35 cycles, and then anything after that, it's not. It's between 25 and 30. That's how much they were. So what I mean by that is, up in the cycle of the PCR test means that you're just pulling up this is why practically anyone can test positive, because you're just pulling up so much genetic material, and that is what is picking up, and it's going to give you a positive result, right? So bearing in mind, obviously, they were cycling at 45, right? I said, as soon as the vaccine comes out, I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll start to roll back on those cycles. So they'll start to produce more negative cases, which is happening in some states. But what's not happening? The death rate is going up. But why is it going up? It's not COVID. It's the vaccine. It's the vaccine. And what they're saying is, they didn't have the second dose in time. They did. Absolute nonsense. They were just poisoned with a vaccine and they died. I knew this would happen. I knew they would roll back those cycles to give it the appearance of going away, but I knew they wouldn't be able to account for the deaths. I knew they were going to say that they were COVID related. Isn't it ironic, right, that people will lap this up like there's no other illnesses anymore. There's none. They've all gone. Unless it's COVID related, we shouldn't care anyway. We're selfish unless we're protecting all the COVID related. I find it absolutely bizarre that they will test and test and test and test until they find a positive result in many, many cases, right? They will just keep testing and testing until that positive case comes out. And it doesn't matter what's happened. They could be hit by a bus, whatever. They're going down as COVID. That's undeniable. We all know that, right? Yet when... So they go through all this, you know, testing to, oh, you're not right, okay, blah, 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 test you again, test you again. Oh, they're positive, they've got COVID, and now they've died. Absolutely, I'm not going to swear. Right? Yet, and this has always been the case with vaccines, by the way, but I'm just bringing it back to the current time. Yet, when somebody has the vaccine and dies hours later, it was because, oh, they were old and frail. Really? Well, you're not wrong about the old and frail, but you've just justified why that poor old elderly person had to die unnecessarily. You know, you can't have it both ways. This is a depopulation agenda and they're going for the elderly. I can't believe people can't see that. They're happily letting them die. And people are directly involved in this as well, and they're going along with it. It's frightening. It's frightening. It really, really is. But these people, all you've got to do is go on VAERS. Go on VAERS and have a look. Go and have a look. They reported the symptoms. There are thousands of them. Go and have a look. You can see them for yourself, and God help what comes from this in a few years' time when we see what damage is really done. Because anyone who's had the vaccine, this COVID vaccine, you can't go back. Any other vaccine before that, as hard and as difficult as it is to detox the heavy metals out of your body, it can be done. It's hard and it takes a long time, and you know, there's a lot of things that you have to do and protocols and whatever to reduce it. But with this vaccine, the first one of its kind, it's not even a vaccine, I've said this before, you can't do anything now. You've permanently changed your own DNA, and we do not know what that's gonna cause later on down the line. Unfortunately, it's the same with being sterile. You know, one in 5 couples or something. Is it 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 in the UK have problems conceiving now? That never used to be the case. I wonder why. I wonder why. My nan had 8 kids, 6 of them on the settee and 2 of them in hospital, no problem. Do you know what I mean? All of our ancestors had loads of kids and blah, 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 and now they're struggling to have one. You can't see where this is coming from, even though it's evident. I mean, like I say, I've studied it. I know that they cause sterility, especially the HPV, which is the Gardasil jab, which your kids have in, well, they want boys to have it as well to protect you from cervical cancer. But, yes, the one they give to teenagers in school, and they give 3 doses of it. It causes autoimmune disease, neurological damage, death, Guillain-Barré syndrome. It causes absolutely loads of stuff, premature ovarian failure, which it causes, obviously, problems with sterility. The other thing, you're going to see a massive, again, whoop of cancer, by the way. I'm statistically, go back and have a look at the statistics pre-mass vaccination days, and then look at it now. It's not even a secret. Of course it does. It even, in fact, the vitamin K shot, which is the one that the baby has as soon as they're born, can cause leukemia. Why do you think children got cancer all of a sudden? Anyone my age or older, sit and think about this for a minute. Stop trying to justify it with your nonsense. Oh, they weren't. We just didn't diagnose it back then. Why are there babies and children and toddlers with cancer? Explain it to me. It doesn't just go, I'm going to attack you, and randomly attack people. Something is going on inside them. Those poor kids haven't had enough of a time of their life to be that much toxic. To be that toxic. It's got to come from somewhere, and it does. It comes straight from the fucking vaccines. It really does. And they're having this is a huge depopulation program, and yet you've got the martyrs sat there saying, I stay homes to save a granny. You're watching them all getting killed, mind, and doing absolutely nothing about it. It's insane. It's insane. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there now, just on a thingy, just because I'm so sick. I'm so sick of it. I really, really am. I don't understand why you don't want to learn, why you don't want to know the truth. Why don't you want to know the truth? That you won't be, if you're genuinely frightened of this virus, which I don't think many of you are. I think a lot of it is ego. But if you are genuinely frightened, I'm giving you like, you know, a hand to get out here, to not be scared. And I've said this from the beginning. You've got choices. Many of you got children. if I was on the receiving end of this, right, if I didn't know anything about anything, and then I saw I saw information and somebody was going on about this and that and whatever, right, I'd have a look, because I've got a child. I wouldn't just dismiss it. There's got to be something in it. I would have, why wouldn't you want to look for your children to be with? No, it's fine, I'm going to have them vaccinated. And then ask people who lose their babies, ask people who lose loved ones, ask people who, who take their happy, healthy, smiley, cooing baby who's hitting all their developmental milestones. Ask them what they wish they had done when they come out of the doctor's office after, say, the MMR, and all that is gone, and now the baby doesn't talk, and the baby doesn't walk anymore, and the baby doesn't make eye contact, and the baby doesn't communicate, doesn't answer to their name, slaps their head off the wall, bites themselves. Ask them. You have a lifeline here, and you did from the beginning. You either want to be scared or you don't. We've all got free will, okay? We've all got free will. So maybe start taking responsibility for yourself and your own health instead of blaming other people. It is no one else's fault. It's a horrible thing to say, but if it's only because you're ignorant of how dis-ease is created, it's not anyone else's fault. It's your responsibility to learn. All right, I didn't know either for 27 years, and I went around doing all the stupid things and poisoning myself as much as I could, and then blaming, oh, I caught so-and-so off so-and-so, I caught so... Oh, I didn't. It was created within my body, because my body was like, oh, Kath, enough of this bullshit now, love. Enough of this alcohol, enough of these recreational drugs, enough of this. We need to detoxify now. And there's me, oh, God. And everyone, they play the victim as well. Oh, I'm so ill. And then what happens when you're ill? The other thing. And I did mind when I was younger, and, I didn't understand it either. If somebody is sick and they're producing symptoms, that's the toxicity trying to come out. The worst thing you can do is feed them, especially shit. So when your kids are poorly, buying them a chocolate bar and a bottle of pop, you're adding to you're adding to it. You're supposed to be detoxing and allowing that to come out so that your child can then be strong and their immune system is built that way. Fasting is the best thing to reverse any disease. That is the best way to do it, because the first thing that it eats away is toxic cells, and fat is the first thing that it'll eat away. So, that's really worth looking into actually as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now. I got a bit of shopping to do. So, yeah, I can't believe I'm on my accounts. I'm really, really chuffed. I don't know how long it'll last, but we'll see. What I might have to start doing is closing my profile, just for my friends only, and then maybe, because I got a feeling other people who are not my friend probably report a lot of my stuff, and a lot of it, is just that. So I'm just going to be blocking people I think might be doing it, or just, like I say, close my Facebook, just for my friends, so that they can creep in. I know that kind of defeats the object a little bit, because I'm trying to get, all my friends probably know the truth. Most of them do. So, I don't know. But I'll see how it goes anyway. Just getting fed up with my account being deleted all the time. So, yeah, I'll speak to you soon, guys. Ta-ra!